Let's talk about solving equations for a variable. If I say solve this equation for x, that means you want to have x on one side is equal to everything else on the other side. So how do we get rid of negative y here? We add y to both sides. Then you will have x on this side. Negative y, positive y is 0, and z plus y on the other side. So the solution is x is equal to z plus y. Let's try to solve the same equation for y. So you have x minus y is equal to z, and you want to have y on one side by itself and everything else on the other side. First, I will show you what I'm not going to do, which is try to get rid of x here by subtracting x. Then you will have negative y on here, z minus x on the other side. Divide both sides by negative 1. Then you will have y is equal to, bring negative 1 to the top, so it is negative quantity z minus x. You can distribute these, so it can be negative z plus x, or you can switch the place, x minus z. Any of these three can be the solution. But instead of that, I'll try a different way. X minus y is equal to z. Solve this equation for y means y by itself has to be one side, not necessarily left side like this. So I want to bring it to the right side. How do I do that? Add y to both sides. Then y will be gone this side, but it'll appear here. So x is equal to z plus y. Then bring this z to the left side by subtracting z. Then you will have x minus z here is equal to y, which is same as this answer. In this case, you don't have to deal with all these negative signs. How about solving for z? This original equation is already solved for z. Z on one side and everything else on the other side. Many students get intimidated because there are too many variables. You just have to take the same step as if you have numbers. Solve this equation for p. 3p plus 4q is equal to r. Your goal is to have 3p on one side, somewhere down the road, and ultimately you want to have p by itself is equal to something here. So now we want to get rid of 4q here by subtracting 4q from both sides. Then you are going to have 3p on one side here is equal to r minus 4q. Then we get rid of 3 by dividing 3. So p is equal to r minus 4q all over 3. Solve this equation for s. S plus 4 times quantity T minus 1 is equal to U. First, should we distribute this? No, we're solving this equation for S, and S here is all by itself nicely, and we'll just get rid of this term. So S is equal to, how do we get rid of this? We'll subtract the whole thing from both sides, like so. So S is equal to U minus 4 times T minus 1. Just like that. How about solving the same equation for T? In this case, T is inside of the parentheses, so we do want to distribute this. So S plus 4 times T is 4T, and 4 times negative 1 is negative 4 is equal to U. Then leave the term with T here and move everything else to the other side by subtracting S, adding 4. So subtract S and add 4. Then 4T is equal to U minus S plus 4. Then we divide both sides by 4. Make sure everything on the other side should go to the numerator over 4. So T is equal to U minus S plus 4 over 4. Some students get confused. Can we reduce these 4? No. When the terms are added and subtracted like that, you can't just reduce it like that. For example, if you have 3 minus 2 plus 4 over 4, you can't reduce these 4 and make it 3 minus 2. This is wrong. If they are multiplied, such as 3 times 2 times 4 over 4, these you can reduce, and they're equal to 3 times 2, which is 6. But in this case, they're added and subtracted, so we are done. We'll practice more similar problems in the videos about polynomials later. A over B is equal to C, and solve this equation for A. How do we get rid of B here? If we multiply each side by B, this will be reduced to 1, so we'll have A is equal to CB. How about solving the same equation for B? So A over B is equal to C, and we want to have B is equal to something. First, B is in the denominator, and we need to bring it up to the numerator somehow. We'll take the same step. So multiply B, both sides. So we'll have A is equal to CB. Then, since B is here, let's leave it here and remove C. How do we do that? We divide both sides by C, A over C, and these will reduce to 1, and that is equal to B. We briefly talked about these kinds of equations in a percent video when we try to figure out the original price using sale price and the discount percentage. I mentioned that these B and C are interchangeable. So when A over C is equal to B, then A over B is equal to C. You can take these steps to convert it, but if you remember this will save a lot of times in the test.